So hello everyone. Today we are taking a look at a beta version of the Dynex web wallet that Yeti has been subcontracted to help get it polished and ready for prime time. Again, this is a beta version. This is not out yet, but it'll give you a nice sneak peek to all the work that's been done behind the scenes to get this ready for you.
At the moment, there's still plenty to flesh out on this. The wording for one, obviously you can see that it's very light on the wording at the moment. That's just something that obviously will come along as we get closer to the final version. Importing a wallet and create wallet do work. So maybe we'll do the creation of a wallet first.
Yeah, let's create a wallet. Okay, so that was simple. Your account is ready, and it gives you um, authentication setup, Google Authenticator. Is that
It
something
should
that you
be,
selected?
yeah, it's actually quite unique. The 2FA is not like your traditional 2FA. When we say Google Authenticator, it's more what it's compatible with. And this is like what I was saying about the wording needs to be still worked around. But in essence, this is a completely client-side 2FA. There is no off to Google to generate this code. It's generated directly in your browser.
Okay.
The idea being is it's super secure compared to obviously having to hand off to Google and wait for their authorization codes to say you are validated or not validated.
But if I wanted to, I could throw this QR code for the 2FA. Can I throw that into Google Authenticator or Ubico key or something like that?
Yes.
Okay, so that
Yeah,
would still work.
it should be valid for all of the authentication token systems.
It's just that
Um,
it's
it's only
generated
that we've
locally.
only tested. Yeah, we've only tested it with Google Authenticator so far.
Okay,
But it should completely work with everything.
cool. So
Yeah, so I mean, the next bit is protecting your wallet. So this is to do with a password.
okay,
Again, the text needs tweaking.
yeah.
Obviously, I'm only using a single digit. You can see here that it will say that you don't have a strong enough password, and say, well, as long as you understand this, you can click I understand the risk
Okay, so there
of
is a
having
bypass
a
for it.
yes. I do understand that not everyone likes having one uppercase, one one lowercase, one number, and one special character in their
It
passcode.
it does get a little unnerving sometimes trying to figure out unique passwords.
Correct. And
So
so obviously, then you need to give out the authentication key for this. So if I just make sure that I have this added, which it does, and then we just need to make sure that key is done.
so
And then you
what's
can see it'll then, once the code is validated and is legit, there's the 2FA code.
oh, that's
There's
what you
going to
would get
be
back from the Google
the app.
Authenticator or something
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
So obviously we're gonna unlock these for having unhide and hide functions as well
Okay.
once they're done. So you'll be able to unmask the passcodes and such.
Cool.
And then once you have done that, you're presented with this.
That was
So it
simple.
says option 1, download a PDF copy of your key.
Okay, that's a good. Now,
Right?
of the 2FA key?
No, of the actual wallet key.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So
private key.
this is your public and private key, all as a one PDF that's technically even foldable, so that the private key sits inside and the public key sits on the outside.
Almost like a paper wallet.
Yes.
Okay.
Obviously, you also get your private key given to you,
Okay.
as well as a mnemonic phrase. Now,
What's
I'm
that?
going to KO this wallet anyway after we've done it, so this doesn't really matter that I'm showing all of this off.
Yeah, I figured as much.
Um,
But it's
the
a
only bit,
24-word
obviously,
key phrase.
yeah. So
Okay.
this is your mnemonic phrase. This is your 24-word phrase. So
Okay.
once you've obviously hit download, downloaded your wallet
Okay.
keys, and obviously written down your mnemonic phrase, it will say, I've written down my phrase. Right. This is normally grayed out until you've pressed this button.
Okay. little bit more work to get done.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit of. So we're actually thinking of hiding this until you've clicked this.
Either that or grayed out. I like the idea of it
Yeah,
just being grayed out.
yeah. I mean, I guess it's trial and error, isn't it? It's a case of some people would prefer it to show up all the time and just be grayed out. Some people would prefer it not to be there until it's required. I see the benefit of both. We've also got a small bug with detecting dark modes turned on, still to fix.
Hey, at
These are
least you
all
got a
little,
dark mode. That's all that matters. You got
yes,
a
we
dark
do.
mode.
We do have a dark mode. Obviously, if I flick this over, it will go to light mode just to show you. So I do apologize for anyone's eyes about to be burned, but
Ah!
like there is a light mode on it. By
Okay.
default, it's currently dark mode, but we're unsure as to whether that will be the de facto option, shall we say.
Yeah, I think most people nowadays actually prefer dark mode.
Yeah, we may very well have a dark mode turned on by default and then the ability to turn it off if you want it. But once you've obviously written down your seed phrase, downloaded your keys, it's as simple as clicking I understand and continue,
Okay.
and it will load you up into your wallet.
Now you actually have something on that sidebar.
Yes,
Now that you're actually inside a wallet. So you got
correct.
your balance on top, your pending balance up top as well, your language
Yep.
selection.
This is still very much early stages. This isn't even ready yet, but it should support about 10 languages out the box,
10.
there
Okay.
or thereabouts. Once we've finished the system for it. But we wanted to make sure that for the beta, once we start bringing on users, the first language will be English,
Okay.
mainly because it's what I speak, it's what a lot of people speak who's working on this at the moment. So it just made it a lot easier to do it all in English to start with.
Oh, absolutely.
Um, but I know that we've got things like Chinese, Austrian, German, Dutch. There's a few languages in there that will get the ball rolling. And what we will do is effectively open source the language system completely
Oh, that'd be
in
perfect.
order
Yeah.
to allow people to push brand new language packs into the system.
Cool. So, no, of course, no transactions right now. We have our send and receive. What do they look like? Anything special?
So your sending is pretty much standard for what you'd normally be used to. Destination wallet address, amount to send, and obviously for exchanges, a payment ID.
Yeah, some of them.
Uh,
Yeah, they do need that.
yes, we do. Especially things like MEXC. I believe even Trade Ogre requires a payment ID as well. So this is super important, but it is optional because you don't technically need it.
Now, when you're doing person-to-person transfer, see, I don't even know about the exchanges because I've just been hodling all the coins so far. I've never even tried to transfer any to an exchange yet.
Well, I mean, I had to try a few because I had to understand it from the pool perspective in case anyone asked what happened
But
to
that
their
makes sense.
funds.
Yeah.
So, knowing that, this was the first thing I put into the send system.
Okay. And receive.
So the
Okay.
receive option is very much similar. So here's the wallet address. Here's
Okay.
my wallet address that it's generated me.
Cool.
You can then personalize the QR code to send to that person. So the amount, the recipient name, the transaction description, and then it will generate you a quick QR code that you can hand to anyone.
Okay. Cool. So, what do we have under settings? Okay, your language again. Node URL.
On Dynex's roadmap currently is an option for hosting your own node and mallob system.
Okay.
It's on the roadmap. Now, adding this in now makes it very easy to go and add it fully when it's available later,
So
rather
I
than having to try and, butcher it.
so I assume when this goes out into public access, this web wallet, that will be grayed out for the time being until we hit that part of the roadmap.
Yes and no. The 127 is actually local to the server, not to you.
That's true. Okay.
So technically, there is a node running on the on the test net server right now where we're testing all of this.
Okay.
The idea being is that it's got to obviously lock onto a node to be able to synchronize your wallet.
Okay, and the
Ah,
web wallet, when it's ran publicly, will have its own node to run, and that's what.
correct.
And so, okay, but at the beginning, people won't be able to change that, correct?
No,
Okay.
no, unless you want to point yourself at a pools node, but I don't see the benefit of that at the moment.
No, not really.
It's actually quicker to do it locally on the same server that it's running on.
Okay.
So, but once you get to a point where you can host your own node and that unlocks mallob and all of that inside of it, you'll be able to choose, I want a custom node and put this into your node wallet address of whatever it is on the network. So I know 192.168.1.15, yeah, 18333, which is the default port.
Okay.
And it will be able to then go and transverse your local network instead of being locked to the network that it's currently on.
Okay.
So it's future proofing is in essence, and what we're trying to do here is just make sure that when it comes to time for them to unlock that, it doesn't make it more than a few minutes to get it in
Okay.
and
Cool.
working.
So, speed to update the wallet.
Yeah, so this is something that obviously you can see here that we've got stuff for solo mining, because once you unlock the ability to run your own node, in theory, you should be able to solo mine as well.
That's true.
Now,
Yeah, you will have your own node. Yeah.
don't quote me on that because we have no idea on if that will be the case yet, but we've put it in there just in case.
Okay.
But the speed to do with this is more so when you create your wallet, it's not like it starts at 0 on the block height.
No,
What
no,
we
there's
do
no
is
reason
we
to.
take it. No, exactly. What we do is we take it from the block height of when you created your, thus making it very quick and very efficient for synchronizing, right? So when you create your wallet, you're not spending an hour before you can actually do anything. You spend less than a minute waiting for you to sync maybe 3, 4 blocks at most.
That makes sense considering, yeah, you have no transactions in the past. It's a brand new wallet. So, yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. It's
Okay.
not like having to have a full blown node wallet at that point. It's actually almost redefining what a core wallet could be if people wanted to do it this way.
Cool.
And that for us was something that was super interesting, because when you first download a core wallet, right, you've got to synchronize from block 0.
Yep.
Now, Electron wallets, those are similar to this, where it takes your block height of creation and will go back maybe 100 blocks and then resync, right? So it's like maybe 10 minutes to sync.
Yeah, that's it.
But this could be a brand new way of doing wallets within its own environment, if we get this right.
Now, down at the bottom, let me guess. It says delete my wallet, local copy. I assume this is going to delete the cookies or whatever it is associated with your wallet on your browser here. But of course, the wallet is still valid on the blockchain, right?
Correct.
Okay.
So as long as you hold your keys and everything like that, you can just re-import
Okay.
your keys whenever you need to. So if you're worried that you're logging in from a location that might not be as secure, you can do everything that you need to do and then just delete the wallet locally and then walk away with your keys.
Okay. Cool. No, that's perfect.
So, from a security sense, that allows you to use a public library, for example. You import your keys, do what you've got to do, send your fees, receive some money, validate that you've received it, and then you can delete the wallet locally and it's clean.
So yeah, I guess you could do incognito mode plus then delete my wallet just for double security.
Yep.
Cool. Okay, so under network stats, we got connected to node. Oh, okay, this one's connected to a regular node. Got it.
So this is the public node that Dynex runs. Anyone can use it,
Okay.
but it does have its limitations. So before I had to refresh, it was just showing node 0, right? And that is because Dynex's public node is kind of overwhelmed at the moment, where it's, having to deal with some pools that aren't running their own not hardware, but software.
Okay.
Um, some other internal processes that are linking off that node as well. Once this goes live, we're going to set up a dedicated node on the server that's housing this. So there won't be any of that problem of where it just won't connect suddenly.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have to because there's going to be a couple thousand connections coming in at
Correct.
any given time with everyone hitting their web wallets.
Exactly.
Okay.
Last thing we want is to take down Dynex's infrastructure by a web wallet.
Yeah, that would be a very bad day. So,
Correct.
so we got network hash rate, blockchain height, the network difficulty, last block found, and last block reward. That's just all box standard information you can also get from their Explorer as well, isn't it?
Correct.
Okay.
It's basically what the data out of the RPC gives.
Okay, cool. That was easy enough.
So the idea of the network stats is more just to make sure that the web wallet is actually connected to the system. We're going to put some extra network stats in there as well once they unlock that in the new RPC version.
Okay.
That should give us a bit more stats in there and should give a few extra variables that can check things like your secure connection, if the 2FA methodology is valid, signature stuff for ring signatures on the blockchain. That's how you do things like the mixing part of the send. Not that it's activated at the moment because we're not sure on where we stand with mixing transactions, especially with new EU law that's just coming in place.
Yeah.
So we've got to wait until we get the answers for that. And then obviously the other option is your exportation. So this is where you can get all of your data. If you forgot, say for example, you was going through quickly setting up your wallet and you forgot to write down your seed phrase,
Don't log out
or
yet.
you
This is your last
forgot,
chance to get your information.
yeah. So basically, you can go to export. You can download a PDF backup of your original keys, the
Okay.
one that folds all in together,
Okay.
and you can also grab your mnemonic phrase.
Okay.
Now, you can also export to a file, which is a flat file JSON
Okay.
that will allow you to completely import the whole wallet again, which is keys, 2FA, the blockchain data. The only downside is the older the wallet, the bigger that file is going to be.
So
So,
that's the file you're going to need if you want to reload a web wallet, correct?
or at least you need at least one of the three.
Okay.
Either your private key, your mnemonic phrase, or you need the original JSON file, which is like your .dat file.
Okay. Got it. Most people will realize what that is.
Yeah, so you know that obviously for backing up a core wallet, you just go find your .dat file. That is what houses everything.
Yep.
Same thing.
Okay. Cool.
The idea is though that no matter which page you're on, you should always see your balance and pending balance.
Okay.
And again, this is obviously a little bit zoomed in, but you'll always be able to turn on and off dark mode. Any other switches that we think we might need later on will just go below the dark mode option.
Okay. Cool. So that's basically the web wallet in its beta form right now. Like you said, there's more stuff to be worked on. But at the same time, Yeti, correct me if I'm wrong. Once this web wallet is fully developed and pushed out, aren't you able to use the base code from this to also do an Android version, an iOS version, a Linux version, whatever? You can work from it all from this one code base, right?
Correct. The idea is to be 100% cross compilable. So no matter what you take it to, It'll work on Windows, Linux, Mac, because you can just run it in a web browser.
Yes.
We can cross-compile it for iOS and Android support.
Okay.
There's your phone and tablets. And then, we could even go as far as push it towards something that could integrate with a hardware wallet down the road, for sure.
Cool.
Thankfully, I didn't have to write all of this. This isn't all me. This is majority of this code is done by a very good chap called Sam. I fleshed out the framework.
Okay.
He effectively filled in the blanks.
Okay. Okay, so we've seen how to create a wallet and how to interact with it. Yeti's going to show us if you delete your wallet locally, how to re-import it. So go ahead, Yeti.
So, like I was showing you, I showed you 3 options.
Yes.
By the end of it, there will be 4.
Okay.
There will be a QR code system that you can save and just put up to a camera, and it will hold all the information needed to re-import your wallet. We're still ironing out the issues we have with that, primarily browser support. Some browsers support that, some browsers have some issues. So at the moment, it's maybe something that we will pull for the beta, but hopefully we should have it working for the full launch.
Okay, cool. So you have your private keys.
Yep. So in here you see it looks very similar. You
Okay.
can actually have a view only wallet as well. They are available when you're importing.
Okay.
So if you wanted to keep an eye on somebody's wallet for them, you could have a view only wallet set up for you, or a number of different things. Again, you get your authenticator. This needs a little bit of tweaking because it's missing its border.
Okay.
And again, it's going to be, please choose your password. Again, like normal. Height to import from. And so this is the bit that we've been trying to work out, because it's very difficult to get an exact block height at any given day, right? You might be able to do it per month, nice and easy.
Yeah, but of
But
course,
because
block times never stick to their perfect standard. So yeah, you got to guesstimate a little bit.
well, I mean, we've at least managed to get the first 5 months in. We're probably going to try and do up till June
Okay.
at the earliest, like for it to stop at. We could go all the way up to the current month, but it would be a lot of lines of text for not very much in the way of help. When between say March and now would only maybe take 10 minutes to sync.
Yeah, there's not that many transactions
So
on the chain yet.
exactly. So again, you get your private key, your public key. Need to actually change this wording because that's wrong. That should be your public key. And
Yeah,
then
okay.
obviously your 2FA code.
And that's
So
where
your
you would put
private,
that information back in to reactivate it, right?
correct,
Okay.
correct. So once you fill out all of the fields, a button down here will reappear saying, import. However, like you recommended earlier, probably have it there and just be grayed out. Just because it looks, at least then you know where it is. I
Yeah,
think is probably a good idea.
yeah, because right now I
Um,
wouldn't know where to go from that, even if I didn't fill out all 3. So yeah,
yeah,
probably grayed out, at least in my opinion. Other people have
sure.
different opinions about how to lay it out.
Yeah, but I do think you make a good valid point. And like I said, there's still a bit of text here
Yeah,
that's not quite
wallet key
right.
is just kind of hiding there.
Yeah. So we've still got some styling to fix and some frameworking issues with rendering, but it's not far off now from actually having a full test run with actual users on there, which is, a testament to the fact that both me and Sam have worked very easy with each other and been able to figure out a huge portion of this very quickly. There is one thing though that I will say on the importation of a wallet. With the mnemonic phrase that should allow core wallets to be integrated. We've still got to test that theory, making sure that our mnemonic phrases and the network's mnemonic phrases are cross-compatible with older versions. That's something super important to me, is that we get that backwards compatibility. And, Sam, been very vocal about a similar sort of thing, right? He wants to make sure that this is cross-compatible. That was his biggest thing that he wanted to make sure of. My biggest thing was backwards compatibility.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
I mean,
so in a future video, once it gets closer to public release, we'll have to show how to migrate from the original core wallet to the web wallet if people want to.
well, it might even be a full-blown mechanism that we build to do so, because just giving you an option from keys from file or phrase, if that's very different and we have to build some kind of workaround to import old keys to new keys, then its own process makes more sense.
Okay.
So there might even be a fifth button there that says import from Qt wallet.
So that's it for the beta version of the web wallet. If you have any suggestions for this, by all means, I will leave a link to the Discord for Dynex down in the video description below. Come join in. There are developer rooms that you can voice your concerns, suggestions, other stuff like that, and interact with them as they continue polishing this up for public release. Thanks for sharing it with us, Yeti. We'll catch you around soon.